Welcome back to another review, and we're going to be taking a look at Fear Itself, issue number 2 of 7. Again, this is Marvel's big summer event, and sorry about that. And it's written by Matt Fraction, and the artwork is by Stuart Immonen. Sorry. First off, let's start with the cover. Well, I think the top part is actually drawn pretty well. It looks pretty cool. It looks alright. However, I do not like the whole cover as a whole, especially because of this little section that it divides the cover into 3 parts: the top image, the title, and this bottom image. So I just don't think it looks great, and it's sad because all 7 issues are gonna be like that. So the cover is a no for me. But yeah, let's just get right into this. Again, Matt Fraction writes this, and this picks up right where the last issue left off, where the gods are returning to Asgard on Odin's order, and Odin imprisons Thor, and he completely rebuilds Asgard. Yeah, that's it's pretty cool. It definitely shows his power and his command over everyone. Um, then right after that, Thor goes on to give a speech to his fellow Asgardians about the serpent, and he actually explains as to why he knows the serpent's powers and why all of that and blah blah. It is actually because Odin has faced the serpent before and the worthy, and he's imprisoned them. So yeah, that's in the past. So now that the serpent is out, he wants his revenge. But yeah. In the beginning of this issue, you get the 7 or 8 hammers falling that belong to the worthy, and throughout the issue, you get each person going on to eventually pick up their hammer. For example, here on the cover, you get a few. The Hulk, Juggernaut, and I actually don't know who this is, but you get the Hulk and the Juggernaut who pick up their hammer, and a few other people, and there are some that don't yet. But yeah, you still don't really know how each character qualifies to be one of the worthy. For example, the Hulk is an evil, and so I'm pretty sure you don't have to be evil to pick up each hammer. However, once they do pick up each hammer, they're given a name and a title, and yeah, so that should be interesting to see how that unfolds the story of the worthy. Um, Again, this is a Marvel event, and what I really like to see is that it really affects the entire Marvel universe. Like I said, this this issue, Hulk picks up his hammer, and if you're not reading Incredible Hulks, like I'm not, but I know he's not in the United States because of whatever's going on, and he's actually in Brazil, and it tells you that in this issue, and I thought that was really great that you see it's not just this thing that's just contained in one place, that it's really spread out all over the place. I mean, if you're a god and you want to take over something, take over the world, destroy the world, you're not just gonna go after one little country. You're gonna think, global, and it really shows that it's not just contained, and that this is really a danger that is all throughout the Marvel Universe. Um, and we also get the Steve Rogers with Avengers and the Future Foundation, the FF, with in New York. You know, like I said, Hulk in Brazil with She-Hulk and whatnot. Um, so yeah, I think Matt Fraction is a really great writer, and I really enjoy what he has to say with each character, what he does with each character. I think um, each character never stepped out of what I would picture them as. He has really good characterization, and yeah, just the good dialogue. Um, I did think that there was something really annoying throughout the issue, and from the very beginning to the very end, there are these small uh, news reports. Like it's just one bubble. Like let's say one line that it's not a complete sentence, but for example, like alarming, blah blah blah. So it's just little snippets of news reports, and it's not just one of those bubbles in each panel. It's maybe a couple, three, four, and it's all throughout the issue. It's not in every single panel, but it is on most of the pages. I would say over half, and I just found that really annoying. It really wasn't necessary. It does show that the fear is spreading all throughout the country, all throughout the world. But again, I don't think it was necessary. I thought it was fine in certain spots, but then it was a little bit too much in other spots where there was more dialogue. Um, so yeah, like I said, it's a great display of fear all throughout the world, and not just in New York or California or the United States. And yeah, I just felt like this issue was just a little bit too much. It was definitely not better than the first issue. I liked the first issue a lot more, and it just seemed like from the beginning of this issue to the end, it just moved forward so much in such a short amount of time. Uh, but I also feel like not a lot happened because we get the gods are back in Asgard, and then for the rest of the issue, we get each person picking up their hammer, and then by the end of the issue, we have the Serpent sending out his attack on Washington D.C. So yeah, it kind of moved really quick in a short amount of time. This issue is still setting things up. There's 5 issues left for A Fear Itself, and yeah, I don't know. I just really had a problem with the pacing. Um, the writing is really solid though. Uh, like I said, still setting things up. But yeah, I did not love this issue. Um, and my favorite part was really the very beginning in Asgard with the Asgardians and Odin explaining the serpent. And after that, it just really fell apart for me. It moved too quick. There was a lot going on, and yeah, I just didn't really like it. Um, so yeah, let's see. I would give this 3.5 stars out of 5. Again, it's not terrible. There are really some really good moments, but then there's some really um, not really bad, but just not so great. But yeah, the art is really good. However, Stuart Immonen, he hasn't disappointed yet, and I really like his Thor, except for there was one panel where he looked more like I don't know, but I just had a problem with one panel that I don't remember specifically, but I just remember I had a small problem with something with his art. Overall, colors, inking, his pencils are really good. Matt Fraction, he writes a really good Thor, which we don't really get to see a lot here. He writes a really good Odin, and I think for what he has set up for what's to come will be really, really good. I think I'll enjoy that a lot more than I did this. So yeah, this wasn't great. It was alright. And I still have high hopes for this. I still think that anything that happens here will definitely change the Marvel Universe for a while. And I have faith in Matt Fraction. He's proven to be a good writer, and I will keep reading this, keep enjoying it, and I will definitely hope it keeps getting better and better. So yeah, that's my review for Fear Itself, number 2 of 7, and again, 3.5 out of 5. It's not a terrible score. It's actually pretty good, and yeah, just let me know what you thought about this issue if you picked it up, and yeah, stay tuned for whatever comes next in my reviews, or you could always go back and watch some other videos.